From the threat of a rapidly expanding war to the growing fear that the world's trade and its busiest trading route will be brought to a halt, the military deal known as the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement between the United States and the Philippines, signed in 2014, has become increasingly concerning. Many speculate that this agreement has the potential to change the world as we know it. According to several analysts, the EDCA has the potential to alter the world, and with high stakes, the question on everyone's mind is whether the outcome will be positive or negative. Currently, the world watches with anticipation as this military deal could be the deciding factor in determining the fate of global trade, security, and peace. So what is the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement? How can it change the world? Should we prepare for the worst, or is there a silver lining to this agreement? Stick with us as we take you around the world to find out why the U.S. and Philippines military deal has China concerned. The relationship between the United States and the Philippines has always been complex, marked by mutual dependence, rivalry, and at times, conflict. However, in recent years, the two nations have grown closer as they face a common adversary, the rapidly rising military power of China. This strategic alliance is a cause for concern, as the Philippines is located in the heart of Southeast Asia, and its strategic location grants it a significant advantage in projecting military power. The country is home to some of the world's most important shipping lanes, and the U.S. recognizes the Philippines as a crucial partner in securing these vital waterways. In 2014, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement was signed between the U.S. and the Philippines, allowing American military personnel to be stationed in the country and granting them access to the vital sea lanes in the region. The agreement enables the U.S. to provide military hardware, training, and logistical support to the Philippine military, as well as conduct joint military exercises and share intelligence on security threats in the region. This agreement is perceived as a direct challenge to China, which has long-standing territorial disputes in the South China Sea. The Philippines and several other nations in the region have disputes with China over the South China Sea. This is because China has become increasingly assertive in the region, building military installations on disputed islands and militarizing the area. This has caused concern in the Philippines, which has limited military capabilities to defend its territorial waters and exclusive economic zone from potential Chinese aggression. The U.S. military's presence in the Philippines will not only allow them to monitor and control the flow of trade and commerce in the region, which is important for the security of the global economy, but it also represents a significant change in the military balance in the South China Sea. The Philippines will now have access to some of the most advanced military equipment, including advanced fighter jets, surveillance drones, and anti-ship missiles, to better defend its territorial waters and EEZ. While some may view this as a victory for the Philippines, others are concerned about the potential consequences of the treaty. It could unexpectedly place the Philippines against China and bring the U.S. into another proxy war. The news of the military agreement has received mixed reactions from experts. Some praise it as a necessary step to maintain stability in the region and defend the rights of smaller nations, while others criticize it as a dangerous escalation of tensions between the U.S. and China. Regardless of these varying perspectives, one thing is certain. The military agreement between the U.S. and the Philippines has China on edge. Many experts believe that China is worried about the military agreement as it will significantly enhance the U.S.'s ability to respond to any potential Chinese aggression in the South China Sea. With the Philippines now better equipped and trained to defend itself, China will have to think twice before making any further moves in the region, reducing the risk of conflict and maintaining stability. This situation has become a source of increased tensions between the two global powers and has sparked fears of potential military confrontation in the region. As China continues to grow its military capabilities and assert its territorial claims, the U.S. and its allies are growing increasingly concerned. So, what does this mean for the rest of the world? The military agreement between the United States and the Philippines and the subsequent tensions with China have far-reaching implications for the entire world. First, it showcases the increasing competition and rivalry between the U.S. and China as they compete for influence and power in the Asia-Pacific region. This could have severe consequences for regional stability and peace as the two global powers engage in a military and economic arms race. Second, it increases the risk of a potential military conflict in the South China Sea, which could interrupt global trade and commerce. The South China Sea is one of the busiest trade routes, connecting Asia, Europe, and the Americas, and any conflict in the region would significantly impact the global economy, leading to economic turmoil and uncertainty. Third, the South China Sea situation is a barometer for the efficacy of international law and institutions in resolving territorial disputes. The Philippines and several other nations in the region have territorial disputes with China over the South China Sea, and the international community has had difficulty finding a peaceful solution to these conflicts. The situation in the South China Sea will determine the capacity of international law and institutions to maintain peace and stability in the region. Another way the EDCA could change the world is through its impact on regional security. The agreement helps secure the vital sea lanes in the region, which are crucial to global trade and commerce. The EDCA also has the potential to have a positive impact on the global economy. By securing the sea lanes, the agreement has the potential to reduce the risk of conflict and maintain the stability of global trade. This, in turn, can have a positive effect on the world economy, reducing uncertainty and promoting growth. The EDCA between the U.S. and the Philippines could impact U.S.-China relations. The agreement has heightened tensions with China, which has expressed concern about U.S. military involvement in the region. The EDCA is a part of a larger effort by the U.S. to counter China's growing influence, and its impact on the U.S.-China relationship will likely be significant. The relationship between the United States and China has a long and complicated history, and this history can certainly impact the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement between the U.S. and the Philippines. The U.S.-China relationship has been marked by periods of cooperation and competition, as well as moments of tension and conflict. This relationship has been shaped by various factors, including differences in political systems, economic interests, and strategic priorities. In recent years, the U.S.-China relationship has become increasingly competitive as the two global powers vie for influence and power in the Asia-Pacific region. This has resulted in tensions over trade, security, and human rights issues. In this context, the EDCA between the U.S. and the Philippines can be viewed as part of a larger U.S. effort to counteract China's growing influence in the region. By strengthening its military ties with the Philippines, the U.S. is sending a clear message to China that it will not allow its regional dominance to go unchallenged. However, this move by the United States has also increased tensions with China, which has expressed concern about U.S. military involvement in the South China Sea. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement has become a source of contention between the two nations, and has raised the risk of potential military conflict in the region. In conclusion, the relationship between the United States and China and its historical context can certainly affect the U.S.-Philippine military agreement and the broader situation in the Asia-Pacific region. The EDCA is part of a larger effort by the United States to counter China's growing influence in the region, but it has also increased tensions and raised the risk of conflict. Therefore, it's important that the United States and the Philippines proceed with caution and work together to find a peaceful resolution to the situation. The outcome will determine the balance of power in the region and have a significant impact on peace and stability in the South China Sea. But what do you think? Is the EDCA a path to help the Philippines gain a footing against China in the South China Sea? Or is it just a way to make the Philippines a pawn in a much bigger global power proxy war? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video interesting, and while you're at it, why not check out this other video?